Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I take off my acrylics. So I had these nails on for about 2 months now. I had just filled them in as they needed it, but as you can see they started cracking and they were lifting on some nails, so I just decided to take them off before it caused any more damage to my natural nails. So the first thing that I do is I start to remove the previous design with my e-file. You can also do this with a hand file, it's just easier, or in my opinion it's easier and it's a little quicker with the e-file. So at this point, I had realized that I had forgot to cut down the length. So when you're soaking off your nails, there's no reason for you to keep the extra length on it because you're just gonna take more time to debulk the entire nail. So I just went in with a pair of clippers and I just cut it where my natural nail started. And at first I used a normal clipper, but it caused the piece of nail to fly like all the way across my nail room. So I just used my tip cutter instead. After I got rid of the design and debulked the nail a little, I just got my soak off bowl. So I got the soak off bowl from Amazon. It came in a set of 2, so essentially how it works is you put hot water in the bottom of it and it has little slots on the top where you can put acetone into and you can soak your fingers in it. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you're interested, but an alternative to these bowls is just using a normal glass bowl on top of another bowl that's filled with hot water, which is what I used to do before I got the bowl. One thing that I should mention is that before you start soaking off, you should always check the temperature of the water. So I'm not gonna lie, my water was pretty hot, but it was tolerable. It wasn't hot enough to burn me, but yeah, you should just always make sure the water is warm enough to heat up the acetone, but not hot enough to burn you. So the quickest and easiest method for me to removing acrylics is to just use 100% acetone, which you could see I was about to pour into the bowl, but I also had this blue soak off liquid that I hadn't really tried for soak offs yet, and I wanted to see how well it worked, so I ended up mixing both the soak off liquid and the acetone to see how that would work. So this is a step that in all honesty I forget to do like 95% of the time, but I find that if you put cuticle oil on your nail while they're soaking, your skin tends to be less dry afterwards. So I just put a little bit of cuticle oil and rubbed it in, and then I continued soaking off. After about 3 minutes of sitting my hands in the liquid, I took it out and started scraping off the acrylic. So the acrylic is supposed to be soft, but it's not supposed to be gummy because gummy is MMA monomer and that's really dangerous for your nails. So make sure to use an EMA monomer and it'll start to flake off like you can see. But either way, the liquid started helping, but it wasn't going as fast as I had hoped. So in a couple of seconds, you'll see that I switched out the liquid for 100% acetone, which goes much quicker. So the blue liquid was kind of a flop. Like, I feel like it would work for lighter enhancements like gel polish on its own, but it just wasn't working for what I wanted to do. So I just soaked it out and I replaced it with 100% acetone. So after about 5 minutes of sitting my hands in the acetone, you can see that they started to puff up, which is what they're supposed to do. So I started to scrape off the acrylic, and you can see that it comes off much easier than it did with the blue soak off liquid. So essentially when you're soaking off, it's just a cycle of soaking and then pushing off the acrylic until you can get it all off. So just repeat that step until you can get all the acrylic off. Another thing that I wanted to note is that in this clip, it looks like I'm using a lot of pressure on my nail, but I'm not. It's just, I have really firm hands, if that makes sense. But yeah, you don't need a lot of pressure at all. If you feel like you're forcing it to come off and you're using like an excessive amount of force, just put your hand back in the liquid to soak itself off and it should come off easily. So I recommend to soak off in 5-minute intervals because one, I kind of just don't have the patience to sit any longer than that. And I find that it goes quicker when you scrape off the acrylic that's already begun flaking off, because now the layers under it can be penetrated by the acetone to go quicker. So I just keep scraping off the acrylic and then soaking off until all of it comes off. So after 2 more cycles of about 5-minute intervals of soaking and scraping off, most of the acrylic was off. So what I like to do after I get the acrylic off is to start buffing my nails and just shaping and getting into whatever my nail routine is afterwards, because a lot of the time my nail might have ridges in it or stuff like that, so I just like to smooth them out. And it's optional if you want to put like a clear top coat on it, which I did off camera, but I'll insert a clip of what they look like afterwards. After I finished shaping and all of that, this is what my nails look like. So let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns and I can answer them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!